Hello everybody, this is Mr. Rob and welcome back to another episode of the Los Angeles Clippers MyNBA series here on NBA 2K23 as the Clippers are at home today to face the Detroit Pistons. But this will be an interesting game because there is no Kawhi Leonard for Los Angeles here. He is currently out with an injury, so we'll see how the Clippers will do without their number one scoring option. If you're excited for this one, make sure you drop a like and you subscribe down below, especially if you want more basketball content, as you can take a look at the starting lineups for both squads as we get ready for tip-off. Both teams underneath 500 could use a win to get back to it, as tip-off is won by the Clippers and we are underway. Fortnite is updated, by the way. Maybe I'll play that one day when the Clippers start off with the basketball here. John Wall brings it up. He's going to move it right side. Paul George, you have to think Paul George will be a lot more involved in the offense today, especially with no Leonard. He's going to dish it, swing it around to Norman Powell. Cuts right side, tries to float one up, but not on the same page with Morris. As now the Pistons quickly up the other side, and that went in and out on the first shot attempt of the game. Now Clippers with the rebound. Wall, stutter step, drives inside, gets by his defender. John Wall, the former number one overall pick out of Kentucky, gets the first points on the day, and it goes the way of LA. See, the Pistons can answer right quick. They're going to give it to Cunningham, and that is off the mark. Rebound by Norman Powell. And up the other way, Wall again. He gets stopped. He's going to try to regroup a little bit here. Clippers like to slow down the pace a little bit more this year than what you're used to in the NBA, as George tries to get inside. And pump it back out to Norman Powell. He takes a three-pointer. That one is in and out. Rebounded by Detroit. And now the former Dallas Maverick, Kemba Walker, right up the middle. And that one is floated up and in. And he gets the first points for the Detroit Pistons. And it's all tied up at 2 apiece. Wall now will bring it up. Going to try to set up a play. Going to try to swing it over to George again. And want to make sure he touches the basketball. Screen set by Zubac. And George didn't really get a lot of help from it. Instead, going to try to back down his defender. Bad shot attempt as that one rattles in and out. Good defensive possession there by the Pistons. As now the other way, here's Cunningham with the basketball. Over to Walker. Back, now swing it over to Cunningham. Tries to get a screen set. And this one given to Marvin Bagley, as there's another update. Fall Guys Hay is updated. That one actually might play. But Walker drives inside, gets by his defender, and Kemba Walker up and in. The first 4 points on the day for the Pistons goes to one of their newest acquisitions. So now Detroit with the lead here. Ball, this time now George on the left side. He's going to try to drive, can't get by his defender, swings it out to Morris. Shot clock at 10. Back to George, gets a screen set, goes inside, pulls up with a block. That one is in and out. Rebounded by Detroit, as both teams having a hard time scoring the basketball. But Kemba's going to have something to say about that. He drives inside and gets the foul. First foul of the day is on Norman Powell. And that'll send to the line Kemba Walker, who makes the first, who's got all of the points so far for Detroit. Did not think going into this game the offense would run by the former Charlotte Hornet. But sometimes that's the game of basketball. Second free throw by Kemba is up and in. And the Pistons open up a 4-point lead here. 3 minutes have gone. 2.5 minutes actually have gone by here in the first frame. Now Clippers offense going to try to get some more points. This time going to give it to Morris on the right side. Over to Powell. Powell's going to try to get that screen set. Trying to work that pick and roll game. Dish inside to Morris. Tries to go up and over Bagley. And actually, there's a foul called on Marvin Bagley III. Didn't necessarily think that was a foul myself, but I'm not a referee. So Morris goes to the line, and he nails the first free throw attempt. Second one for the big man. As he sets up for it, and it's good. So 2 free throws for the Clippers. Is now 6-4 in favor of Detroit. This is a big game for both teams. Both teams are underneath 500 ever since Kawhi Leonard went out for the Los Angeles Clippers. They've actually been on a little bit of a losing streak here as Walker pulls up from 3. That one is off the mark, so you'd love to get back in the win column here at home at the Crypto.com Arena. As Wall tries to drive inside, actually gets it over to Powell, swings it over to Morris. On the 3-point line, screen from Zubac. Another Pass over to Powell, who tries to drive inside, trying to get past Cunningham. Can't. George instead from the mid-range, and he will go in and out on that one. It's very, very slow start offensively on both sides of the floor. As now Cunningham, who actually has not really been involved so far to start this ball game, he's going to give it over to Bagley, who hands it off to Cade. And guarded by Wall. Now over to Sadiq Bey. Bey to Duran. Now inside to Bagley. 1 second left on the shot clock. That one is off the mark. But Bagley gets his own rebound. And the former Sacramento King is able to get some second chance points there. And now, once again, Pistons lead by 4. Now Wall tries to drive his side on Walker. Gets by him. Tough left-hander up and in. John Wall with a great finish. Showing a little bit of that razzle-dazzle that made him the #1 overall pick in 2010. Now again, Clippers only down by 2. They need a little bit more help from John Wall. He's got both field goal makes so far today for Los Angeles. Is now Walker again with the basketball. Gets a double screen. Step back at the free throw line. That one is in and out. Again, Kemba Walker with a jump shot. Did not connect that time. But you can definitely see the Pistons strategy today. As Powell now from the three-point line. And that one is off of the mark. Rebounded by Bagley. And now Walker is going to actually slow the pace down. Pistons lead 8-6. Takes a fadeaway three-pointer. Very tough shot. Walker maybe getting a little bit too crazy, but instead a little scrum for the rebound. Ends up with Sadiq Bey with the basketball, and he puts it up and in. Sadiq Bey, nice, hard, tough points there. But it results in 2. And again, the Clippers down by 4. This has been a pretty tight ball game so far. George has it on the left side. Going to get a screen from Zubac. Runs, has Zubac inside, gets some positioning, and that's a nice in. 2 points for the Clippers. Ivica Zubac's first 2 of the day. And once again, the Clippers are only down by 2. Pretty tit for tat here in the early going of this one. Bagley with the ball at the top of the key. Being roughly guarded by Morris. Going to hand it off to Walker. And Kemba gives it up to Cade. 6 seconds left on the shot clock. Cunningham's going to get a screen. Going to take his first three-pointer of the day. And that one is off the mark. Rebounded by George. And Paul's quickly going to push the pace. Pistons are back, though. As he might have had Zubac inside for just a second. But instead going to try to back down his defender. That's not really working out. Had a little bit of a mismatch there as Walker guarding Morris. They're not going to take advantage of it just yet. There's about 4 seconds left now. Morris is going to take a three-pointer that is off the mark. That was a bad position by LA. If Kemba Walker is guarding Marcus Morris, you've got to take advantage of that. And they were unable to do so. As now Cade on the other end puts a spin cycle move, but Powell holds his ground. Inside 6 minutes now as Walker gives it up to Bagley, to Cade now. 7 on the shot clock here as Cunningham tries to drive again. Can't finish with the left. Rebounded by Norman Powell. And again, the Clippers will try to push it the other way. Slowed down the pace, trying to set some offense. You can see Clippers last game against Dallas, 92 points, loss in that one, 24% on the three-pointer. And that's kind of been the story the past couple games. Clippers have not been able to shoot the ball well from beyond the arc. Because there's an and one, though. How about we get it the old-fashioned way? Norman Powell with an and one from Cade. We're actually going to go to the end of the first quarter. Pistons lead this one 16-15 as offensive points have been at a premium in this one. But it's currently Detroit with the lead. As we'll actually go a little bit later into the first half. It's not really been a pretty game. 35-31 with only a minute 45 to go in the first half. Both teams have really struggled to score the basketball today. As Pistons, there's a turnover. Is nice diving by Man, but instead of giving the ball up, he's going to allow this to be a jump ball. So, good play, good hustle play, but a bad decision with the ball. And now Trey Mann has got to try to jump for this one. And it's won by Detroit. So Pistons get another chance with the basketball here as Ivy goes inside and tries to take it hard to Robert Covington. And he's rewarded with 2 free throws. He tries to extend this Detroit lead. As Jaden Ivey, first free throw is up and in. And the number 5 overall pick out of Purdue in this past year's draft has got first point of the day. Make it. Nope, actually misses the second one. So the Pistons lead only at 5. Got a minute and a half to go here in the first. And Jackson's quickly going to push the pace the other end, and it goes up and in. So nice play. Heads up play there by the former Piston, Reggie Jackson, as he gets to off of the lackluster defense. Pistons now only lead by 3. As inside, giving it to Duren. Nice move there by Duren to get underneath the basket, and he finishes, and that's the number 12 overall pick out of Memphis. 2 for 4 already on the day. 7 rebounds here in the first half as Jalen Duren. This is a very young Detroit Pistons squad. Even if they don't click this year, this is a team loaded with potential between Cunningham, Duren, Ivy, you name it. This is a Pistons team I'd watch out for in the future. But right now, Covington is going inside and putting the work in on the low block. That was Duren getting out-muscled there. Less than a minute to go here in the first half. The Pistons lead by 3, 38-35. As Jaden Ivey has the ball right side, guarded by Jackson. Going to get a screen set here. And tries to put a spin move in. Gets underneath the basket, though. A nice finish. Nice finish there by Detroit. Get the points right back. It's now 40-35 now. As the Clippers with the ball gets swatted, and Jackson actually falls to the ground hurt. That's not what you want to see if you're LA, already battling some injuries. And let's just go ahead and skip to the end of the first half. Pistons take a 42-35 lead into the half. We'll have more updates on Jackson on the flip side. We'll see what happens after this break. Also, if you haven't already, or if you haven't heard already, I'm actually affiliated with Rogue Energy. So if you're interested in buying some Rogue Energy, Christmas is coming up. They got some new flavors. Use my referral link down below, code Mr. Rob. You can get 10% off your next purchase. But we're going to actually go into the second half here. Pistons start off with the basketball. There's a little update on Reggie Jackson. He has a twisted right ankle. Usually, that's a day-to-day injury. So at least the Clippers, they avoid any long-term damage. That's already fighting injuries to Luke Kennard and, of course, Kawhi Leonard. I want to see if the Clippers can find an offensive answer here in the second half. This Wall with the basketball trying to set something up here. Dishes it over to George. Paul going to try to drive inside, take a little isolation right side. He gets fouled. Duren is the culprit, and that'll send Paul George to the line for 2. First free throw up and in, makes it a 6-point lead here. Second one by PG-13. Free throw is off the mark, so PG only able to hit 1 of 2. Even at the free throw line, the Clippers can't seem to find points. It's now Bay on the other end with the basketball. Gets it off. Now Bagley has it. Being guarded by Morris. Sadiq Bey now. Guarded by John Wall. It's a height match there. Is Cunningham. He's been very quiet today. I haven't called Cade's name at all in the offensive section. He's going to take a deep 3 with a shot clock winding down. That's not what you want to do. But Duren with a nice rebound. Gives a second chance here for Detroit. But Burks dribbling out the basketball. 5 seconds now left on this one. Tries to give it inside. Nice hands there by Morris to intercept it. And on the Clippers, good, beautiful defense going the other way. George here on the right side trying to back down Cunningham. It's a little bit of a strength mismatch. And George can't finish, though, with the right hand. Just cannot put the ball in the net today is Los Angeles. And now Cade wide open from the top of the key. No, can't get it to fall. And again, George pushing the pace the other way. Cade Cunningham only 5 points today. 2 for 9 shooting. 1 for 6 from 3. So it's not been a good day for the former #1 overall pick out of Oklahoma State. Trey Burks here. Going to try to slow the pace. His team does lead by 6. Now maybe get a screen left side from Bagley. Just a switch. Now George. Guarding Burks. 3 seconds left on the shot clock. You got to make something happen. He's going to get actually an open look from 3, and it rattles in and out. Fortunate there for Detroit as both teams really struggling with the basketball. You have to think Clippers do miss Kawhi Leonard on the offensive side of the floor and on defense as George backing down a much smaller man, gets his strength inside and finishes to the left. Beautiful possession there, analyzing the mismatch. And Paul George, who's being asked to do a lot more now with Leonard out, basically touches the ball on almost all offensive possessions. And the Clippers only down by 4, but Cade trying to put the ball in the net, still can't get it to go. Rebound by Zubac. Now the Clippers another chance to get this one now. 2 for 10 shooting for Cade. It's just not been a good night for Cunningham. Has yet to get a point at the free throw line as well. Clippers now Inside, 10 seconds on the shot clock. Screen right for George. Tries to drive inside and gets a foul called on Bagley. His 4th of the day, so you got to watch that if you're Detroit. Bagley, only 2 more and he fouls out. George puts the first free throw up and in, so despite the fact that he basically touches the ball on off his possessions, he's only got 6 points today. He's only shooting 2 for 6 from the field, so if you don't got Leonard and George is struggling, how do you expect to win this game? Well, the Clippers are only down by 2, so it's been a phenomenal defensive effort at least. This is some old school basketball, 42 to 49 minutes to go here in the 3rd quarter. As Burks gets a screen, tries to give it back. Beautiful defense there. Duren had to jump for it. Now Cade being guarded by Zubac. This is a mismatch on the outside. Cade's going to get a screen. Long 2 is up and in, so Cunningham puts the ball in the net. Hopefully that snaps his cold streak. Now 7 points, 4 rebounds, 3 and 11 shooting for the former Cowboy out of Oklahoma State. Now the Clippers again with some more half-court offense. Paul George gets a screen from Zubac. Tries to drive inside and gets hit hard. This time Jalen Duren called for the foul. If you can't get it on the outside, you might as well go to the free throw line and try to get your points. As there's the first one up and in for George. He is 4 for 5 from the stripe today. Trying to make it 5 for 6, and he does. So 2 points there for LA, only down by 2 now. It's been a very close contest all the way through. I think Detroit's biggest lead so far today has only been 7. And right now it's only 2. It's Burks right side with the ball. Being guarded by Powell, gets a screen there. Nice job by Powell to get through it. Now kicks it outside to Bay, who lets one fly. It's off the mark, and now George with the rebound. He's going to push the pace again, but everybody for Detroit is back. But George not going to slow down, being guarded by Cunningham, is able to muscle his way inside again. That's the second time we've seen Paul George take advantage of that matchup. I'd love to see that continue if you're LA. Try to get George on Cunningham. McKay, nice pass inside. Bagley has some positioning there. Right hand is off the mark. Zubac with the rebound. And here comes Los Angeles, tied up at 44 apiece. George right side. Wants a screen. Tries to drive inside. Dishes it to Morris, but they're not on the same page. Had an open look there, but couldn't get the ball to him. And Sadiq Bey establishes the ball up now at the 3-point line. He's being guarded by Reggie Jackson. Swings over now to Burks. Jackson actually back in the ball game as well. Even with that twisted right ankle, Reggie wants to play. As Bagley from 3, that one is off the mark. George with the rebound. I'll have to take a look at that from Jackson. That'll be a story to follow the rest of this game. Is it enough? As he has the ball here, you can see. Not 100%. Still trying to do what he can. Dishes it to Zubac. Right hand is up and in, and the Clippers have a lead. 46 to 44. LA, despite the struggles on offense today, have been able to put the ball and get the lead, but just like that, a quick answer. Jalen Duren with a right hand flush. And just like that, we're tied up at 46. Duren, 8 points today, all in the paint. As we're back to square one, Cunningham stops Jackson. Definitely just can't maneuver like he was able to before the injury. Morris now inside to Zubac. He's going to try to take a long 2. That's not really Zubac's range. Ill-advised shot there. Leads to the Pistons now with the rebound, pushing it up. Cunningham guarded by Jackson. Inside to Duren. He's got positioning now on Zubac. Able to get underneath the basket. Doesn't finish. And missed opportunity. Rebound for LA. And now Morris. Long 3 from Powell, and that one is off the mark. Clippers have actually yet to hit a 3-pointer today. Yes, the Los Angeles Clippers have no 3-pointers on the day. And now Cade spinning inside. Beautiful move, but unable to finish as Zubac just too long, too tall to get over. As the Clippers trying to push something inside. There's Zubac, gets some positioning on Cade, and he's able to put it up and in. The Clippers again now up by 2. Off a beautiful strike inside as Zubac starting to find himself here in the 3rd quarter. The Pistons are going to call timeout, try to regroup, and that's going to take us actually to the end of the 3rd quarter, and they did a good job. They now lead 59 to 54 going into the final frame of basketball. Pistons up by 5. There's now 6:40 to go left in this ball game. Pistons now up by 9. Clippers have actually just gone ice cold again. It's just been not a good game to watch on the offensive side. as Bay trying to drive by George, as they need some more stifling defense here if they want to walk away victorious. Now Ivy with the basketball, gets a screen, gets a look from three-pointer, and it's off the mark. But Duran gets the rebound, dishes it out to Bagley. He's going to take a long two, and it's off the mark as well. Both teams poor from the field goal percentage this game as Jackson tried to drive, but that ankle not allowing him to do so. He gives it up to Morris, who gives it up to Powell, who gets a screen from Zubac. Long two from Norman, and that one's in and out. Just can't find the bottom of the net as you go less than 6 minutes to go in this game. Ivy now being guarded by Jackson. 67-58 is the score. Cunningham try to drive inside, gives it up to Bay. Bay's going to get a screen. Long three off the mark again. But Duran somehow finds the basketball and gets an and one. Jalen Duran done a phenomenal job today on the offensive glass. Gets the and one. Can't finish the three-point play, though. But the Pistons have their largest lead of the day, 69-58. An 11-point lead here for Detroit. And the Clippers got to try to score some points. George trying to move again on Cunningham. But this time he can't get it to go. And this one sleeping out of the range of the Clippers. Down by 11, and there's an alley-oop finish. The Clippers call timeout, down by 13. And with the way they've been scoring the basketball, we're going to head to the end of this one. The Pistons able to win 83-72. An awful showing offensively for the Clippers. And if this is what life without Kawhi looks like, I hope he comes back quickly, and I hope he never gets hurt again. Clippers fall in this one. Just a bad offensive performance. I mean, I knew Kawhi Leonard being out would hurt us, but I didn't think it hurt us that bad. And we actually ended up only making one. Yes, we actually did make a three-pointer, but we made one three-pointer all game, shot less than 30% from the field. It just was not a good game. Shots were not falling. I don't think we did a good job with adjustments either. As you can see, Zubac ended up leading us with points, 18 with 16 rebounds. I think maybe trying to get the ball more inside to him would help. Meanwhile, in Detroit, Duran had 20 points. He was the leader in 19 rebounds. A phenomenal game for the rookie. Bagley had 19 of his own and 13. We also got smoked on the offensive glass. But just a bad loss here for the Clippers who continue to fall. And we even get more bad news as John Wall hyperextends his elbow. He'll be out for 1 to 2 weeks. And the next game against the Spurs, we lose 121-117. So that's a 6-game losing streak for the Los Angeles Clippers. We are able, though, to beat the Jazz, but that's not really saying much. If the Jazz only have 2 wins on the season, they are 2-17. Despite Sexton's 42, they fall to us. And then we do face Golden State on the road, and we do only lose by 2. So a hard-fought matchup. Even without Kawhi Leonard, we took Warriors to the limit, but it just wasn't enough. Next game, though, we face the Denver Nuggets. Now, the Nuggets do have Jokic, and without Leonard, this could be a tough matchup. But actually, Nikola Jokic is actually out himself. He's out with a bruised right hip. So the two-time reigning NBA MVP will not play in this one. Instead, it'll be Jamal Murray leading the charge for Denver. But your Clippers sent 8-11. That'll be the next one. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode as we try to get back on track here with basketball. But if you did, make sure you drop that like and you subscribe down below, especially if you want more franchise content. This is Mr. Rob, and I'll see you in the next one.